April of 2026 to adequately defend the former president, who's charged for alleged efforts to overturn his 2020 election loss. They say the scope of the case is too large to prepare quickly, writing in a 16-page filing, quote, "No major party presidential candidate has ever been charged while in the middle of a campaign, and certainly not by a Justice Department serving his opponent, and the public interest lies in justice and fair trial, not a rush to judgment." And Neil, plenty of reporters' schedules were rearranged when the former president heeded the advice of his lawyers and canceled a press conference that he had scheduled for Monday in Bedminster, New Jersey. That's where he said he was going to present evidence that would exonerate him in the Georgia election interference case, writing in part on Truth Social. "My lawyers would prefer putting this, I believe, irrefutable and overwhelming evidence of election fraud and irregularities in formal legal filings." He concluded with, quote, "Therefore, the news conference is no longer necessary." In responding to Trump's initial press conference announcement, Georgia's Republican Governor Brian Kemp wrote, "The 2020 election in Georgia was not stolen. For nearly 3 years now, anyone with evidence of fraud has failed to come forward under oath and provide anything in a court of law." So Trump and Governor Kemp, they have been sparring since Trump's 2020 loss, with the former president largely blaming Kemp for coming up short in the state. Neil.
Alexandria, thank you for that. Alexander Hoff, John, you to weigh in on this, the former Deputy Assistant Attorney General. John, first off, on the likelihood of being able to delay all four trials, how likely is that? When I spoke to Bill Barr, he said maybe a couple, but certainly the January 6th one can and should be adjudicated before the election. What do you think?
I think General Barr is right. Given the number of cases that have been brought against President Trump, one of them is going to be able to start, you'd think, at least by next summer. Unfortunately, that would be right at smack dab in the middle of the end of the primaries and the beginning of the timing for the the nominating conventions. I actually, if I were to guess, I would think the one about the classified documents at Mar-a-Lago would be the one that could go first and might go fastest, because it's not the sprawling indictment, for example, like the one you saw in Georgia about January 6th that has 12, 13, 14 defendants and runs from election day